Hey guys, Sprite Pizza YGO coming here with two top Yu-Gi-Oh! Day event deck lists for Dragonmaid, and these are OCG deck lists. So we have one combo deck and one control deck, and I'm going to run through them, and I'm going to run through what I find interesting, the different combos, and if you like it, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll try to bring you more Dragonmaid content, as well as I'm going to start picking up my content on other decks because I feel like I've covered this pretty thoroughly for at least what's going on this format. So once we have a format change, I'll make sure I dive back into the deck. But I wanted to share this as a, I guess, possible plan in the future, depending on what kind of damage the ban list does to our extra deck. So starting off, this is the control build. They're playing the Psyframe Gamma and the Driver package. They're playing one Red Eyes Darkness Metal, one Lorpar, one Tinkek, one Earnest, one Tempest, 3 Chamber, 3 Kitchen, 3 Parlor, 3 Ash, a Ghost Spell, and I'll talk about the Ghost Spell before we dive into any combos. I like this. 3 Gamma is mentioned, a single Nurse, triple Maxi because it's legal in the OCG, 1 Changeover, 1 Gold Sark, 2 Hospitality. I mentioned previously in my videos that you only need 2 Hospitality to function through a duel. The third is kind of like a luxury in terms of not needing to search something as you step your way through the combo. They're playing 3 of the new Pot card. I think this card is going to be pretty good in this deck. In the control build, you can see all the multiples he's playing in the extra deck. And so this will be basically a huge consistency boost for him in terms of being able to try to set up Seal's Show or just one of the two and getting a starter. So I like this card in this deck. The control build, I think, has the flexibility to play 3 because you can play so many 3-ups in the extra deck. The combo build, I don't think has room to play more than 2, maybe 1. But I do like this card a lot in both variants. He's playing 3 Paleozoic Dynamiscus, 3 Tidying, and I believe this is the 1 Downtime. And then moving into the extra deck, he's playing 3 Dragonmaid Show, 3 House, Starving Venom, Predaplant Dragon Stapelia, the Chaos Ruler Synchro, Psyframe Lord Omega. I like Omega as the Synchro target for going into with the Gamma package. I think it is way better at playing against your opponent's potential hand traps because there's no way to really play or to out a Nibiru before it's played. And this allows you to out Nibiru before your opponent could potentially activate that card. And I think there's a lot of good starters such as the Pot card here that the Gamma can counteract an Ash Blossom to generate this Synchro before you start your plays. Now he's playing 3 Hieratic Seal, 1 Striker Dragon, and 1 Imduk of the World Chalice. Side deck, he's playing triple Nibiru, triple Lancia, triple Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Super Poly, and 3 Dimensional Barrier. Overall, I think this is a pretty smart deck list. He's playing a lot of hand traps. He's accommodated I believe 7 hand traps here. I preferably would play more, but I think with the Pot card he's able to dig a little more, and he is playing more of a going first control build with the heavy trap count. I like this overall. I said I'd talk about why I like Ghost Bell. So I like Ghost Bell, and I actually played Ghost Bell in a regional when I played Mermails back in May of 2019 when Called by the Grave was running rampant, and I believe with all the Reborn cards that are played in this deck, getting hit by something like a DD Crow could be pretty impactful. And this also being able to stop Called by the Grave on one of your monsters is very good. I don't think you'd ever want more than 1 because as a defensive card, I think it's very powerful. Or as an offensive card, I think it's very powerful. But as a defensive card, I think it's a worse version of Crow. So I think Crow outperforms this card. However, this card has the flexibility to also protect your combo. And I think 1 is probably the correct number if you're going to choose to play it. You don't really want to see multiples, and if you see it, it's sort of a luxury in terms of safety for you stepping through your combo. So I like the 1 Ghost Bell. I might consider doing this myself, depending on which build I end up going and what I find space to play. But I like the 1 Ghost Bell. So the second list that I have is the combo build. I actually like this combo build a little bit better. And the combo build is playing the new Dragunity package. and I guess I'll talk about that in a little bit and showcase a combo on why that engine's good. But this build's playing 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal, 1 Lorpar, 1 Tinkek, 1 Earnest, 1 Tempest. I'm going to have to get the names for these guys. He's playing 1 Dragunity Arma Mistleton, 1 Dragunity Legistus, 1 Blackwing Zephyros, 3 Dragunity Remus. He's playing Triple Chamber, 1 Kitchen, Triple Parlor, 3 Ash, 1 Bell. He's playing the Bell as well. There's the Remus, the 1 Nurse, Triple Maxi, 1 DD Crow. So I like his 1-in-1 ratio here. I like this being the defensive card. He opted to play Crow, of course, which I think is fine. I like this build too because he's playing 9 hand traps because he got the 1 Imperm down here. But I guess I'll keep going. He's playing 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Dragunity Glow, 1 Gold Sark, 2 Dragonmaid Hospitality. He's playing 1 of the new pot card, and the reason I think 1 is fine for this is he's not playing a heavy bonus count in his extra deck, so you can banish a light number, 3 or 6, based on what you don't think you need for your combo in that game. So you could banish like a Pisty, 1 Seal. This Twin Triangle is like okay. If you open the Ravine, you can banish the Romulus. You won't necessarily need it depending on how you open. You can banish like 1 of each fusion. That's okay to be able to dig and see what you can do with your combo. So I like the 1 pot. He's playing double Called by the Grave for protection, double Dragon Ravine, 1 Infinite Impermanence, and then he's playing 3 Dragonmaid Tidying. In the extra deck, he's playing 2 Show, 2 House, 1 Borrelor Furious. He's playing 1 Gatorg. He's playing 1 Dragunity Knight Arabard. I think Arabard's pretty good. I couldn't figure out how he stepped into this card for any potential combos. I did a couple duels and it didn't fully come up. So I do think it's a good card to play. I just might opt to play something different than what he did here. He's playing 1 Heretic Dragon Atum? Heretic Dragon King of Atum. He's playing 1 Boral Sword, 1 Axis Code Talker, 1 Dragonity Knight Romulus, 1 Twin Triangle Dragon. I like Twin Triangle. I showcased it in my other builds. I do not like it in this combo build. He's got a lot of high levels to summon, to link climb. But I think this card really shined with Noctivision Dragon and Noctivision Dragon effect happening in Grave. So I don't necessarily think this card is needed, which we can talk about in a future video if certain ban lists come out and when these newer Dragunity cards come out. He's playing 2 Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres and 1 Guard Dragon Pisty. On the side deck, he's playing 3 Nibiru, 2 Pink, 1 Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, 2nd Ghost Bell, 2 Droplets, 3... Is it Divine Lance? Dragunity Divine Lance, and then 3 evenly matched. Overall, I like this build a little better, but I think there's definitely spaces to improve upon. But without knowing, for you guys, what the end game was with his combo, I'd like to showcase that to you. It definitely would explain the reasons why he's playing so many Dragunity cards and why his extra deck looks very different than traditional Dragonmaid extra decks. So this is my take on his build. I'm playing the Gamma package because I found that there's a lot of spell starters where you can kind of neg yourself initially. And Gamma is the best defensive option. And then taking away what I saw in the first build, I'm playing that Omega as well. I think it's the best thing to step into before you're able to combo off if you do get the Gamma off. I'm playing almost the entire Dragunity package that he was playing except for the Gold Sark. I like the Gold Sark, but I think it probably shines better in larger deck builds. That's just kind of my take on it. I might look into a 52, 60 card build depending on what I want to try out with this. But for this build and what I'm trying to accomplish, I think this list looks fine. Okay, so getting back to the replay, I kind of shuffled my hand up to showcase what just Remus can do. You don't actually use your normal summon, so I do have the Parlor here as well as kind of like a second starter, if you would. And that Parlor can actually generate more, and I kind of show you that in the combo. And I have 3 Imperms just as like bonus cards in my hand, because you do have to have discards here. But I'm going to play this. So shuffling the deck, standby main. First thing in main phase, we're going to discard Dragonmaid Knight Remus, and Remus effect is to add a Dragon Ravine. And we will play the Dragon Ravine and discard one of our Imperms. So with a full hand of like more playable cards, this is probably a little bit better. Discarding like a Tidying or a like extra Dragonmaid normal summon that you have on field is probably better than discarding the Imperm. I could talk about like what your best discards are. It's going to be like Chamber or Nurse. Nurse, however, is better to hold for a while if you do have like both of those. Because Nurse is probably a better follow-up normal summon if you do get like Nibiru. So with the Dragon Ravine, we're adding Dragundy Legitus, and if you control a Dragon Ravine, you can special summon this card from your hand. Continuing on, and if you control a Dragundy card, you can summon the Remus from grave but banish it when it leaves the field. So summon both of those, synchro into Gatorg. Gatorg is going to basically add and discard the Zephyros. We're going to pay 400 for Zephyros, bounce the Dragon Ravine to summon him. And now we're going to link 2 into Romulus. Romulus effect will activate, and he's going to add the Dragunity Glow. This card's really interesting. I think it actually does a lot in terms of like unique play design for this deck. So we're going to add, with the Dragunity Glow, the Dragunity Arma Mistletoe. We'll tribute the Romulus to special summon Mistletoe. Mistletoe will equip the Gatorg. And then we'll banish the Glow from grave to special summon the equipped Gatorg. And on summon, Gatorg will activate its effect. And this is where we're going to start shuffling to get to our Dragonmaid cards. So we're going to add and discard Chamber. Since we do need access to the fusion spell to get to our end board. And we're going to overlay both into Heretic Dragon King of Atum. And Atum is going to be like the new Elpy. This deck does not play Elpy. So it's the best way to access any sort of dragon we need from the deck. So activating its effect, I detach the Gatorg. I don't think it matters what you detach here, but the Gatorg seemed like the better target. To summon the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. And you don't actually want to go for Red Eyes Darkness Metal effect without getting the additional Ravine effect off, because we won't have enough dragons on field to perform our play. So I discarded the Imperm again. Obviously, if we had a different target, it would probably be better. But I discarded the Imperm here to send the Nurse Dragonmaid. And then we're going to activate Red Eyes Darkness Metal to reborn the Nurse, and Nurse effect will reborn the Chamber. Chamber effect will get us our fusion spell. And so we have 4 dragons, 1 higher level, 2 Dragonmaids, and the Atum. So we're going to make 2 plays here. We can go into Seal of Heavenly Spheres, and we're going to fuse into Dragonmaid Show. And so this is your like 1+2 bonus card isolated combo. Because you had to have the 2 discards, obviously, to perform this play. One of the reasons I think this is powerful is because this whole play happened without a normal summon. So I do have this Parlor in hand to follow up to show you like you can do extra just in case you do get like Nibiru or whatnot. But I do think this combo hurts in effect, where if you don't have good discards for your Dragon Ravine, you neg yourself. And I'm not saying like, I turned 5 cards into a Ravine and 2 negates, and yes, these negates give good follow-up. But I feel like if we discarded things like more Dragonmaids, or I was able to like discard a Nurse earlier, I wouldn't have had to discard the like extra Imperm off the Ravine. and so I could have held like that in hand. If I was able to discard Tidying, I'd have like better follow-up. So there's other cards that I'd prefer to discard than these hand traps, and obviously that comes with playing through like a standard hand. So I've generated, I guess, these two cards. I'm gonna show you like what you can do extra with like the additional, or with the actual normal summon. And so I'll just summon a Parlor, dump the Tidying, banish the Tidying, summon the Chamber. I'll activate Changeover's effect Engrave, bouncing the Chamber. And I'm going to link this Parlor into Striker, so that way I can fuse into Borreload Furious. And so I get to this field a lot where I have like one hand trap with Show, Seal, and Borreload Furious. And it's very hard for a lot of decks to play out of this field, especially with the amount of recovery that this with the amount of recovery this deck has to power through any sort of like play your opponent is doing. You just generate so much advantage on the following turn, and then you're able to kind of go off 3 turns in a row until your opponent like runs out of resources and you kill them. I don't know. Overall, I think this combo is very good. I like that it doesn't use the normal summon. You have a lot of starters in the Remus. The Ravine is very good. You have more higher level dragons. The one thing I don't necessarily like is you're running out of hand advantage, because once all this stuff is in your grave, it doesn't do a whole lot with recursion, kind of like the Chaos Dragons did. In one of my videos, I showed a larger deck. I think it was like 53 or 52 cards, where I show some Chaos Dragons with like Seyferts and Lebioneer. And that is also a good engine to dump, because you're able to just recur advantage really easily, where this doesn't. However, I do think this is a little more explosive in terms of like being able to make a play without a normal summon. Getting to these 2 cards, is very important, and that's what this is, trying to achieve. So I do like this combo build overall. I think it's very strong. I might look at playing less hand traps to see if I can find better cards to like discard my combo off the Ravine. This guy was playing a second Ravine, and I think it was more so if his Ravine got like hand trapped, he wanted to have like potential follow-up, because this card going off is very important. I'm playing the Gammas, so I think that enables like a little more feasibility for my Remus play to go off. And then, being able to go into Omega and rip a card out of your opponent's hand just to, try to hit another hand trap potentially before you combo off is pretty strong. Yeah, so this is my take on the 2 OCG winning Yu-Gi-Oh! Day Dragonmaid decks. I like the combo deck a lot. I think it's definitely very creative and unique. This might be where we go, depending on if we see an Elpy ban in the TCG. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. I would like to make this more of a discussion between me and you, just to get your thoughts and figure out how we can make this deck grow together. But yeah, I think this is very creative, and I'm definitely going to look to pick up these cards and try to play the Remus package in real life, get a feel for it. So yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye.